Bridging Continents, Malaysia and Guinea-Bissau. Deepen South-South Ties by Azlan Adnan. President Umaro Sissoco Embaló of Guinea-Bissau concluded his 3-day official visit to Malaysia on the 5th of June 2025, marking a significant step forward in the bilateral relationship between the two global South nations. The visit, at the invitation of His Majesty the Yang di Pertuan Agong, centered on economic cooperation in the halal industry, Islamic finance, and the energy sector, but also opened wider diplomatic avenues, reflecting a growing pivot in Malaysia's foreign policy toward Africa. Tashat, a political embrace rooted in shared principles. Malaysia and Guinea-Bissau share a political history steeped in the anti-colonial struggle and a post-independence commitment to non-alignment. Both countries are active members of the Non-Aligned Movement, NAM, and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, forging a natural affinity grounded in mutual respect, sovereignty, and South-South solidarity. President Embaló's visit is the first by a Guinea-Bissau head of state to Malaysia, but follows several earlier ministerial exchanges that have quietly built the diplomatic scaffolding for stronger engagement. Prime Minister Dato Seri Anwar Ibrahim welcomed Embaló at Putrajaya with full state honors, signaling Malaysia's seriousness in expanding ties with Lusophone Africa. Beyond protocol, discussions covered concrete deliverables, including knowledge sharing in Sharia-compliant financial instruments and Halal certification infrastructure, areas in which Malaysia has long held international leadership. Trade and investment, a modest yet strategic partnership. In 2024, the total bilateral trade between Malaysia and Guinea-Bissau amounted to approximately $4.1 million. Malaysia's exports to Guinea-Bissau were valued at $4.04 million, while imports stood at only $0.06 million, giving Malaysia a clear trade surplus. Malaysia's primary exports include refined palm oil and palm-based derivatives, rubber products, processed foods, consumer electronics, and industrial machinery. Guinea-Bissau's main exports to Malaysia, though currently limited, consist of raw cashew nuts, tropical hardwoods, and unprocessed fishery products. President Embaló has expressed a strong interest in shifting Guinea-Bissau's export profile from raw commodities to value-added goods. To this end, he extended invitations to Malaysian investors and agri-tech companies to establish joint ventures in cashew processing, coconut oil extraction, and fish freezing facilities in the Bissau region. Malaysia's long-standing experience with agro-industrial development under FELDA and RISDA was of particular interest. The two nations are also exploring a bilateral trade facilitation agreement to reduce customs barriers, technical assistance for halal product certification to help Guinea-Bissau access global Muslim markets, deeper collaboration under Malaysia's Look Africa Policy, focusing on Islamic economic frameworks and sustainable development goals. To support these ambitions, Matrade is expected to launch a trade mission to Bissau later in 2025, marking the first such initiative in over a decade. Tourism and cultural exchange, modest beginnings. While tourism between the two countries remains modest, Guinea-Bissau is keen to position Malaysia as a key Asian destination for its citizens, particularly in the domains of medical tourism and Islamic heritage travel. In 2024, just over 120 Guinea-Bissau nationals visited Malaysia, primarily for business, education, or healthcare. Malaysia's blend of Islamic civilization and multiculturalism appeals to many Bissau Guinean Muslims, who make up about 45% of the population. Plans for tourism exchange include capacity building in halal hospitality, pilgrimage logistics, and the potential for seasonal charter flights during festive periods. Students and human capital exchange. Malaysia's reputation as a regional education hub continues to attract students from West Africa. As of early 2025, around 40 Guinea-Bissau nationals were studying in Malaysian universities, enrolled in fields such as engineering, Islamic finance, and medicine. Both governments view educational exchange as a long-term investment in bilateral ties. Guinea-Bissau is expected to seek additional placements under Malaysia's Technical Cooperation Program, MTCP, particularly for civil service reform, healthcare training, and religious education. Tad of the road ahead, from visit to vision. President Embaló's state visit is more than a diplomatic courtesy. It signals a recalibration of Malaysia's engagement with Africa and Guinea-Bissau's openness to diversified partnerships beyond its traditional Lusophone and Francophone spheres. Malaysia, in turn, sees Guinea-Bissau as a valuable partner in a fast-changing, multipolar world. What began as a ceremonial visit may well mark the start of a transformative relationship, one rooted in South-South solidarity, mutual respect, and the pragmatic optimism of two post-colonial nations building their futures through shared prosperity. A heartfelt light. To every soul whose hand did give, you've helped me dream, helped me live. In darkest hours your light came through, with hearts so kind, so pure, so true. Your gifts, like stars in deepest night, have steered me gently toward the light. Each coin, each word, each silent prayer, a thread of hope, so rich, so rare. My eyes once dimmed now seek the skies, and slowly, clearer visions rise. Because of you, I dare to see the world again, its grace, its plea. Your compassion's flame will not just stay with me alone. It lights the way for others wandering through despair to feel the warmth of selfless care. You've shown what love in action means, in quiet ways through giving scenes. You've built a bridge from soul to soul and made the broken feel more whole. So let this thanks rise like a song, a melody both soft and strong. May your example gently call more hearts to rise to give. To fall into the joy of lifting pain, of planting hope where none remains. Your kindness walks beside me still, a light, a love, a living will.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to show your support.